Hey, this is a short video going through how to use this tower run planner that I've created to help reduce some of the randomness of the blue platform section in the tower. This is just a tutorial about how to use it. I'm not going to spend too much time on why it works. For this video, all we need to know is that when you open this website, it's already configured to aim for what I believe to be about the fastest split that you're going to get to this blue platform. If you do everything perfectly, and you do the same start that I do in the border section, you'll get a 206 split on this blue platform potentially. And then obviously, if you save a second or two at the beginning, it could be potentially a 205 or a 204. But that's the split that you're shooting for in the blue platform. And let's talk a little bit about how this works. The first thing that you're going to have to be comfortable doing in order to get this setup to work is understand how to change the direction of platforms while they're off screen. I had another video explaining how I do this separately, but just a quick recap for here. In order to change the direction that a platform is going off screen, you need to unload it for more than its cycle duration while it's off screen. So the cycle of a platform is the time that it takes to travel from one side to the other. So this platform that I'm standing on right now is an 8-second platform. It takes 8 seconds to go from bottom to top. This is a 7-second platform across the way, its sister platform. That's an 8-second platform as well. And then that faster platform out in the middle is a 4-second platform. So right now, if I wanted to change the direction that the 4-second platform was going relative to the 8-second platform, I just need to unload the platform for 4 seconds like this. And then now we see that they have a different alignment relative to each other. That's the same principle that we're going to use with this tower run planner in order to get everything set up in the right direction. So prior to your run, you're going to come out to this little ledge here, turn off sprint so that you can walk back and forth easily. And you'll note that there's a place just to the left here, kind of like right on the boundary where you'll unload the platforms. And we're going to use this loading zone in order to change the direction of the 8-second, the 7-second, and the 6-second platforms relative to each other. So this is a 6-second platform. It's the nearest platform to the second mushroom here on the right. The 7-second platform are the two vertical platforms on the right. And then the 8-second platforms are the two vertical platforms on the left. And so we want to get these platforms to match whatever this UI is saying they should be doing at any given time. So this updates in real time. So all you have to do is look at the platform and then see if it's going the same direction as the UI says. And if it's not, do the swap. One of the tricks that I have to make the swap more consistent is I will unload the platforms at the about the same time that the timer changes a second, then count 8 seconds and reload it shortly afterwards. So out at 9:13, we'll load it back in at 9:21 or slightly afterwards. And then we'll see now that the 8-second platforms are doing what the UI wants it to do. So it says 8-second platform down, and then it's going down. When it starts going up, UI says it's going up. So that's all set up and good to go. Now we're going to set up the 7-second platform. We want the 7-second platform, and this is a peculiarity that I'll explain briefly after this. We want the 7-second platform to be doing the opposite of whatever the UI says. So in this case, this is actually set up correctly because the 7-second platform is currently going up and we want it to be going down. Now it's going down and we want it to be going up. So this is good. We want the 7-second platform to be opposite of whatever this says. And then finally, we have the 6-second platform, which is this guy over here. It's just to the right of the mushroom. And we'll see here that this is going in the correct direction. Platform's going down. UI says it's going down. Okay, so now this is all set up, and we just need to start our run at the time specified here in the next run box, and we should be almost good to go. There's one other hitch that I'll walk through when the time gets to it. One thing that can throw a wrench in this is that desyncs will swap all of the platforms relative to each other. It's easy to correct. If you see a desync happen while you're doing this setup, all you have to do is unload them for greater than 8 seconds, because doing that unload for 8 seconds will change the direction of all the platforms up to the 8 second platform and have them go the opposite direction. So, for example, we just saw a desync, such timing, cinematic. Now, the 8 second platform we see is going down right now, and the UI says it should be going up. The 7 second is going up and the UI says up. We want that to be the opposite. And then finally, the 6 second platform is going up and then the UI says it should be going down. Now it's going down, it says up. So let's switch it back. We unload for 8 seconds, unloaded at 11:30. We're going to wait for 11:38. We can even do a level 11:39 just to make sure that they'll switch everything. And then now we'll see that the 8 is going up and it says up. 7 is going down, it says up. Now it's going up, it says down. That's good. And then the 6 second is going up, it says up. So 8 and 6 are lined up correctly. 7 is the opposite. Okay, now we need to reset our run at a particular time so that we don't mess up this order when we reload them the first time. The surefire way to prevent that from happening is to unload these platforms 8 Palia minutes before the Palia time. So where the current next run says 102, in order to make sure that we preserve this pattern during our run, we're going to leave at, or we're going to unload them for the first time at 12:54 a.m. That's 8 Palia minutes before 102. And then we actually had a desync, so we have to correct this again. Okay, so we swapped everything back. One thing that you can do to help with the desyncs, once you have everything set up, is unload the platforms, but don't keep them unloaded for more than 6 seconds. So I'll watch the timer and watch it count up 5 seconds and then reload them very briefly. And you can keep on doing that. And as long as you have them unloaded when a desync happens, it won't change their direction. And then you can just do this for however long you have to wait before your run starts. So we see we just had a desync there, and then these should be unaffected because we're doing a little dance. Okay, so run says 102, and we were meant to leave 8 Palia minutes beforehand. So we're waiting for 12:54. We're just gonna make sure we have them loaded in, and then as soon as it says 12:54, we're gonna step out of the loading zone and reset. And then from here, we just do our run normally. So at 102 or whatever time close to 102 that you typically leave, you'll hit forward. And then we're going to do our run normally from here. And if you do everything right, if you got the setup right, if you unloaded them at the right time, when you get to the blue platform section, they should all be lined up for you. There is one wrinkle that I want to point out. I'm probably not going to succeed in this run because I messed up the turn already. But there is one section at the top of the boulder section that we need to point out on your run. You're going to do everything normally except this one part of the boulder section. The first time that you load the blue platform section in is going to be when you're climbing the pillar here. So you see that the blue platforms are loaded in right now. About halfway up the pillar here, they'll start moving. This is the first time you load it in. Resetting the run 8 Palia minutes before the run time makes it so that when you do this first load in, none of these platforms change direction. But then there's one more area where they're going to be unloaded during the run, and that's between these boulders here and all of the green platform section until you come back to the edge of the green platform section here. So one thing that you have to do in your run to make sure that the platform stays set up correctly is instead of jumping directly across to this rock here and going up, you'll see that the platforms aren't loaded in. What we want to actually do is load them in briefly here, and we're going to do that by jumping off of this rock. And let me actually do that correctly. Let me actually do that correctly. You're going to aim for the left side of the boulder here, and then you'll see here that they're loaded in briefly. And that small difference in time is going to be all it takes in order for the platforms to line up correctly. So all you have to do is do a perfect green platform run, get to this mushroom, and then all of the blue platforms should be lined up correctly according to what the run planner is telling you to do. Yeah, so quick recap. Learn how to swap the direction of platforms off screen. Go to this little wall on top of the green platforms to do that. Get the 8-second and the 6-second platforms going the same direction as what the UI is saying, and then do the opposite with the 7-second platform. If you find that tedious to do, one thing that you can do in the run planner is actually change the direction here in the UI, and that will swap the direction that the 7-second platform is reporting that you should be going. If you just switch it here, it changes it in the UI. So if you don't like remembering that you need to do the opposite for 7-second platforms, just switch the direction here for the 7-second platform cycle. I just like to remember to do it opposite. So 8 seconds same, 6 seconds same, 7-second opposite. Start from the 8-second and work down to the 6-second. Reload the run 8 Palia minutes before the start time. So in this case, it'd be 6:30. You'd reload. And then during your run, make sure that for this rock, you're grabbing the left far enough here to load the platforms in briefly. And then that's all you need to do in order to successfully set up the run according to this Palia run planner. Good luck.